We are here. We are back. We had a couple technical difficulties, so we apologize for the couple minutes delay. We had our elves working on things, and we made it happen. Welcome back to Prep Talk Live. It's Wednesday. It's 5:30-ish, so close enough. It's episode 39, and we've made it. I'm Casey with Cascadia Dispatch. Joining me, as always, or at least 99% of the time, is the Urban Prepper, Tup. How are you? What's going on? How are things in your world?
Things are going busy. It's snowing outside, so it's where the kids are excited, so they may storm the office and say they want to go play outside. But yeah, all in all, things are going pretty well. Just keeping busy with work and getting ready for some shopping and some other stuff. So yeah, good times though.
Very nice. Very nice.
I got a new flashlight in the mail. So
oh my goodness. Oh my word.
We do love
us. Yeah, we do love us a flashlight.
Do we still like gear here on this channel?
When we're not talking about pepper panties or tomatoes
milk chickens or
laser chickens or sharks with laser beams, I think we still like gear. I think that's still a thing.
This is my Cyber Monday sale item. It's the Olight arc fill that I've been trying this out. It's kind of cool.
Ooh, what do you think? So obviously today was going to be a big hey, how was your Cyber Monday, Black Friday?
Yeah. We're just getting right to it.
Exactly. Just jump into the.
I'm jumping in.
And usually you're like, oh, I don't do deals. Deals are not my thing, and so I bring it up for myself because I have things to talk about. What'd you get? What happened?
I was gonna get it anyway, and then I was like, oh yeah, it's Cyber Monday, so maybe I should. And it was a little cheaper, but I was gonna get it no matter what, even if it was on sale or not. But it's the arc filled, which is this kind of cool design. I'm always trying to slim my EDC pocket items to help avoid the dreaded prepper bulge, which is very common in the prepper community. So
we do love a good prepper bulge. Now, is it? I just want to know, we had a whole thing about fat shaming of pouches a few months ago.
Yeah.
Is it is this fat shaming of flashlights as well now?
It's
they have
just
to be slim and compact. They can't be.
You don't want too much. You don't want too much printing because it's too revealing. It's too sexy for some people. So if you have a big flashlight in your pocket, it's a little too sexy for some people.
It's a little too much.
It's a little too much.
You don't want to be walking around the grocery store with a big,
exactly
Magnum mag light or whatever. And
So this is what I was previously carrying, which is the like the Baton series from Olight. I really like Olight. I think they're awesome. But this Arcfeld one it's about the same size lengthwise, but for thinness though, it's a little thinner. So a little less printing. It's kind of a rectangular design, which I thought was kind of unique. It's more of a floody flashlight, and this one's kind of has a cool. I don't know if you can see it that well, but has a cool button press on it. So because one of the problems I have
is it a flashlight that actually does it go out the front or is it more of a side panel? Because I have one from Nebo that looks kind of similar. It's that brick style, but it has the light off the side so you can magnet it to things.
Yeah, it goes out the front like that, so which is cool. Nice. It's not going to roll because it's rectangular, which is nice, and it's a floody flashlight, so it's not it's not a thrower. But what's really cool, which I kind of like on it, which is that it has a green laser pointer on it. So you switch it to this setting, and then all of a sudden you have this green pointer that you could use for your presentations, or you never know when you're EDCing and you might need to give a presentation.
Exactly. When you're in emergency, you're like, look, everyone, we're going over here. See, with the laser and the thing. And
so it's a green dot, as you can see back there. So and then when you want to go back to flashlight, you go back to flashlight, and now you're in flashlight mode. So
that is
and fantastic. It has the same magnetic charging that a lot of the other Olights have. So anyway, I've been enjoying it, and my pants pockets aren't quite as sexy, which is a good thing for the prepper community. So
I'm sure Mrs. Prepper appreciates that
modesty
that you have in that. I also got some Olight flashlights with some green lasers on them. They are not for they probably could go in your pocket. They're not designed for that. But they were also on Black Friday. And it brought up an interesting question that I had for some of my friends who are experts in those types of lights and accoutrement. Is the rechargeable battery versus the physical battery when we think about preps and gear, because a lot of times when we're thinking about our gear, we're thinking about, okay, what's the way to have redundancy and flexibility and modularity. And is modularity a word? I think modularity is a word. Yeah. Okay.
That passed.
So for me, the question was, okay, do you go with one that is a physical battery? Because one of the lights I got is a physical battery, one's rechargeable.
Yeah.
You go with the physical battery, and then you have to stock those physical batteries, but you can refill them. Or do you go with the rechargeable battery, which you could recharge, but you have to have something to recharge it from should you need it?
Yeah. My philosophy is I like going rechargeable for EDC purposes and physical for long-term emergency evacuation type purposes. So like a bug out bag, I think should be real batteries. Your EDC one, it's okay to have a rechargeable one like this. So
that is fantastic. That's why we go to you, oh wise one.
Is that the golden rule?
Exactly. You have graced us with your presence to give us your knowledge and wisdom. That's fantastic.
Because the thing is, like with the OLED ones, you have to have that magnetic charging thing, and if you lose it or if it gets damaged, if the zombies bite it by accident, then you're in trouble. But like, so for bug out bags and stuff like that, I go with AA battery ones, and that's my preferred method. So.
Yeah, there's also, like with the rechargeable piece, around standardizing, because a lot of us will start to standardize. Like we want to standardize the flashlights around a battery type, so we don't have to worry about having C's and D's and 9 volts and everything else. It's like, okay, it's either all like AA or it's all AAA or something like that. But with recharging now, you have the magnetic ones that are proprietary. You have USB-C, you have micro USB, so you almost have to have multiple charging capabilities. Or like in the case of Olight, if it's a proprietary magnet, then do you just go all Olight rechargeables for all of your rechargeable flashlights, so you're using the same chargers basically?
For me, I'm done with micro USBs. I'm done with macro USB. So if it's not USB-C, it's not for me. So so now everything has to be USB-C, because that's what, like for my phone, for example, uses my Android phone uses USB-C. So that's
one of your many phones. You have many phones.
I'm kind of like Walter White for the prepper community, where I have these burner phones that I break. So.
For all of the pepper jelly orders that come in, you have to have different phones for, there's that.
She's still going with this pepper.
How are the peppers even still good at this point?
She has her ways, and she tells me not to. She finally threw out a big batch of like peppers that are uneaten. You can't eat them; they're too hot unless you killed your palate. But
are you still growing them in the garden, or are these ones that
they've been harvested and they've been sitting in different locations and stuff? And so,
because you wouldn't want your peppers all in one spot.
No,
I mean, we always diversify. You have
so I said, hey, next year let's put more into the tomato and then less into the peppers, because no one can eat those. And she told me to shut up and stay in my lane.
As The Rock famously said, know your role and shut your mouth.
Know your role and shut your mouth. So I said, okay, I'll go back to my PDFs. So,
exactly.
I'll stick in the EDC lane. You stick in the spicy peppers that no one can eat lane. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just stay with the PDFs. That'll be fine for you. That's So looking at all of lots of people are talking about the stuff they got on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Most of my stuff, like I said, I got some lights. A lot of the things that I got were things for the new office, the bunker that we're building. So we went from having just a floor last week to today we have walls and roofing and like the whole, it like looks like a building now. So there will be an update video coming on all of that. But it's the fun things where it was like in the rain and the snow, we found a French drain that we didn't know was there that had broken. And so we had to build it out, and it was puddly. I felt really bad for the guys because they were just in the mud, just digging. But they got it all figured out. They're fantastic. The company that's building it is actually doing some featured things on their Facebook page and stuff. So I'm going to link to them as we go through with some of this stuff. But it is very exciting to see it come together. But they were necessity things like my refrigerator for or the bunker, and some of that sort of stuff. But we also got the new shelves and just a bunch of I got a new Amazon Echo devices were on sale, so I got a new like the picture frame one to test out. So all kinds of exciting fun things coming for that. And right now our hallway looks like a UPS drop zone.
I'm trying to think what else I bought. I bought there's I'm redoing my junk drawer for the video if I could ever finish it. And so I needed to improve my motion activated lighting, and now the one I have previously I had one that had AA batteries or AAA batteries. Now I have a USB charged one, and it's brighter and better than ever.
As USB ones often are. Brighter and better than ever until the next one comes out,
and it is USB-C. But I've had to upgrade a couple of the junk drawer items to some better options too. But it's just killing me that my junk drawer is so messy right now because it used to be so perfect and it has a PDF inside of it, and no one is following the PDF.
Everyone is banned from using the junk drawer if they don't follow the PDF. That should be an absolute must.
I think Mr. Prepper's exact quote was F your PDF.
F your PDF.
But I think she used the full words.
Well, I mean, as you do.
But F your PDF might be a good t-shirt too. So.
Oh, it's in the list. It's in the list of things that are going to be made, and Mrs. Urban Prepper is going to be one of the first ones to receive the F your PDF sweatshirt, I think, or something like that. Maybe we should get like folders or binders that we put that on, like the folios or whatever.
I like that.
Or we could get like cases for like iPads, the little folding thing. And then it could be like F your PDF because it's all digital, which is ironic.
Or maybe just like a morale patch, I think might be good too.
Oh, all right. We could do that. I like that idea. We haven't done morale patches yet. That's something that I think we should look into. All right, I'm just looking at the chat. All of our favorites are here. Pigsfly is here. Dr. Dave is here. Chuck is here. Pony Girl is here. I'm just going through the list. Pony Girl loves your flashlight. Specifically loves the color.
I like the color too.
She was like the fact that it doesn't look like a flashlight is intriguing.
I think with all like EDC items, it's good to have it be non-threatening, or even though flashlights aren't threatening. But I've been trying to go away from more of like the tactical black stuff. Although my knife right now is a tactical black, but I've been going more with I've been doing more blues and like wood scale because for some reason I just think that in the urban environment that people find them less threatening than the tactical flashlights that are.
We are the cheerful preppers.
Yeah, we are.
I mean, that is maybe that's what we should like. Maybe that should be a name for a channel, the Cheerful Preppers. I don't know. Let's see.
All preppers need to be very angry and not smile.
Exactly.
That's one of the rules.
Yeah, that's what I get on my notifications from YouTube is all the videos that are. It's all coming to an end. The doom is happening. It's World War III.
I haven't watched any of them. So those kind.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, the guy's posted again. All right. Only you would have one with the laser, though. I think that is a fair statement, Pony Girl.
I saw the laser, and I'm like, that I need that. It could be used for signaling purposes. Like I think a laser goes a great distance, and yeah.
Well, and also explaining. I mean, sometimes you need to really make a point.
You never know when you're going to go do a presentation.
When you pull up the PowerPoint in the middle of the earthquake. And you're like, hey, everyone, we have to duck and cover. You want to be able to point to, the nearest table or what they should be doing. I think that's reasonable.
I am working on an EDC update one, though. So, so we'll see.
Yeah, there is definitely a desire for you to do an updated EDC.
My EDC doesn't change as much as I think. I don't want to talk ill will or talk bad about. But I think if you have
drama alert.
If you have seasonal EDCs that are all brand new and shiny, then you're not using them enough. So I think your EDC probably shouldn't change to I don't know.
I take that personally, but I will accept that criticism.
There's ones that this is my blue EDC, and this is my fall EDC, and this is my when you're EDC, and like I don't know.
From the guy who has color-coded tubs of everything in his house. Yes, I totally understand.
That's now. Strategic though. I think a lot of them. It's like I don't know. I don't think prepping should be like the Gap fashion trends or something. I don't know. Prepping is it's 365.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness, we should do an EDC episode.
We should
just just one of the things we should just do an EDC. Like, hey, what's on your keychain and that sort of thing.
Yeah, one of my best, my favorite. I know we're kind of. I love this little Gerber utility blade. It's awesome. So I don't know if you can. Now I used to make fun of Nut and Fancy because he had like 3 knives on him at all times. Like, you have 3 knives, like the Joker or something.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
But this little one is awesome because you always have a sharp razor blade on you. This is what I use for Amazon boxes, but it feels like for this kind of knife, a nice good quality knife. I feel like I'm insulting it by having it cut open Amazon boxes. So this is for human flesh. No, it's it must have blood on it before you put it back. No,
we really took from the guy who doesn't want to talk about the recession because that might ruffle feathers. Human hunting, totally fine. Okay,
yes.
Yeah. This is
I have my sister-in-law. She has a knife that only touches tomatoes. It's only for tomatoes, and so that's her tomato knife.
Is it red?
Yeah, no, it's just really, really sharp.
Okay, I was gonna say if it's not red, it feels like it's a waste.
Yeah, no, it's like one of those. It's a humongous looking.
It's like a
chopper. Yeah, it's like a cleaver. Yeah, and it only touches the flesh of tomatoes.
It only touches them, and by doing so, it explodes the tomatoes because it's such a big knife for such a small tomato. Like it doesn't even just explodes. But it's only for that.
This is I use this more often than I use like a Foley knife, just because I think for those of you that carry a blade on you, most often you're probably opening packages from the mail and stuff.
Yeah,
which is insulting for a nice knife.
It is. I don't often. I mean, partially because I'm at home, so I don't necessarily have. When I go out, I have like a little Benchmade that I take with me places. But I've got the Leatherman. I think it's the PS4. It's the little keychain one, and it has a little blade on it that is fantastic. And I use that for opening packages and mail and everything. I mean, it could poke somebody too, probably, if you really wanted to. But it's much better for like cutting open boxes and things like that. And then it slides back into its little.
That's a good one. It's a non-threatening multi-tool too.
Exactly. It's black though, because it means business. It's not like a happy color. It's not green or anything. It's just. But maybe I need to become a cheerful prepper and get a colored one.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Pony Girl accidentally washed her flashlight. So that's unfortunate. It's clean though, so that's a bonus. However, it overheats now. It's trying to still dry itself is what's happening. It's like, why am I wet? And then now it's stuck in a loop.
That should probably be a standardized test for EDC gear. It's like, could it survive a couple washing machines? Because it's going to happen. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, at some point it's going to get wet. Chuck says his latest excuse is he's switching over to the lithium phosphate rechargeable flashlights. Now I've seen like the lithium, I think it's lithium iron, the LiFo ones or something like that. That are the big ones that if you want to like they'd be an alternative to like a lead acid or something like that. So Chuck, is that like, are they the little cells, like the little AA's that like you plug in and recharge, or like where would you find that? Is that like the standard lithium? Because I've seen also like at Costco, because as we know, we all love Costco and we're waiting for the sponsorship. But like Costco has rechargeable batteries sometimes that are lithium, but it doesn't say like lithium phosphate. It just says lithium on it. So
he's saying the 18650 batteries. Yeah, that's
okay. Cool. All right, let's see what else. So from the prop shop, I'm watching this on my new safe room, charging my phone with my Jackery. That sounds like the best way to watch our podcast / live stream / video shorts or TikToks, is in a safe room charging your phone. Is it your safe room because you've just locked the rest of the family out so they can't be there, or do you actually have like an actual safe room? Because then I'd be super jealous if that was the case.
I need a cooler safe room, I think so.
Yeah, exactly. Chuck almost got the Jackery 1000, which I think, isn't that the one that you have?
I have the 500, I think.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So Chuck was trying to go over the top.
I just used it today for something, and it worked great for that. So
to charge your new flashlight?
Yeah, no, it was for sometimes if I want to have power on my laptop instead of bringing like a normal USB, I just bring the whole Jackery in. It's I could use the laptop for months.
Have you? And I'm just throwing this out here because you seem to be at home.
Yes.
Have you looked at the walls? Usually close to the floor, there are these things, and you can just plug the laptop directly into that. You have as much power as you want. Well, no need to lift the heavy thing around the house with you.
This was I was actually, it was this morning I used it because I teach the chess club at my kid's school, and I needed to have a laptop set up at a spot that didn't have an outlet nearby. So that's why I'm like, oh, I know, I'm going to bring the Jackery and use that.
So Cliff rolls into the chess club with his hand truck and all of his supplies.
Yeah.
You arrived to chess club out of breath from holding and carrying that in.
I was going to run by something with you to get some ideas. So today, this one, I don't want to make it a downer already, but
wow,
I'm going for it.
It's a good thing that most of the people here, and if you haven't, then welcome to our podcast.
Yeah. So we started off high.
All over.
I'm bringing it down.
Yeah, so, exactly. All right. Bring us down.
So,
what's happening?
So, as you know, in my vehicle, I have a nice vehicle, like my vehicle preps. I have and stuff for roadside assistance and everything like that. My wife's, just like our junk drawer, so the stuff goes missing and it gets all messed up. So today we were driving, and there was the car in front of us got T-boned. It was real bad, and and so I had to go out there and kind of check on the drivers and stuff because the airbags went off, and it was one of it was So, but then I'm like, okay, it sounds bad to say that, but I was like, okay, I'm going to use my vehicle preps, my roadside assistance module. I'm like, crap, I'm in my wife's car, and it's gone missing, just like the junk drawer. So, if I was in my car, I would have had it. And I was thinking, like, what I wanted to do is, like, we called 911 because the lady that was pregnant, and so it was real scary for. But in my roadside assistance, I have like stuff for my vehicle, like the triangles and the lights and everything like that. And I'm wondering, but what I was doing during that situation was I was like helping guide traffic around that and stuff, because people are kind of jerks and want to get around even accidents and stuff. So I'm wondering, do I need to have like a motion type stuff that
I see what you're saying.
Flagger type things. Is that a prep that should be in part of a vehicle preps kit? Because it's not in my current kit, and it's definitely not in my wife's kit. So
that is an interesting thing. Because I'm trying to think in our car kits. I don't have. So what I have in our car kits that we could use is those LED sticks. The flares or whatever.
I have that too. Yeah.
So we have those, and then we have the discs. And so what I would probably do is use the flares
in daylight.
With the red light or something. I think also if there is an accident and you are standing there and you've got at least something in your hand to demonstrate, perhaps maybe the laser pointer. I don't know. I think people will look at that. I think they'll be looking at your arms and seeing what's happening. I'd be more in our kits. I also have like the yellow reflective safety vests.
I have those. Yeah.
Because
I have road flares. I have the lights. I have the triangles, the reflective triangles. Like, is that enough, or am I overthinking to help direct traffic with?
No, signals? I think the only thing you could add would be, like, I think they make the cone like adapters, so you'd have like a regular flashlight, and then you can put the little orange cone thing.
I have an extra one because I have in my building evacuation kit. I have one of those because it's part of my construction worker look, because I have a disguise.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I have an extra one I could use, but now I got to put the PDF in my wife's vehicle so she doesn't mess up with the vehicle preps roadside assistance.
I feel like we know how she feels about your PDFs at this point.
She says, yeah, F the PDF. Yeah.
F the PDF.
F your PDF as well.
Yeah, exactly. Other PDFs, totally fine. Yeah. She enjoys them. Your specific PDFs, F those.
But I was pretty ready for, even with the EDC, because I had my Rescue Me. I was ready to go for that, but we didn't need to use it for that. Had my first aid kit, all that stuff was ready. But there was some roadside stuff that wasn't at the right place at the right time when I needed it. But we were okay. So
yeah, which is good. And you also broke, I think, another prepper rule, which is if it's it's your stuff, you don't share with other people. I don't know if you've heard that, but that's a thing. Apparently, the preppers believe is it's mine, come take it, as opposed to like, hey, share. So
I'm more of sharing's caring.
Well, that's what makes us the cheerful preppers.
Yeah, that's why we still smile in our videos. Yeah.
I also wonder too, with some of that roadside stuff, it's not stuff that you're going to use frequently, hopefully.
No.
So the amount of space that some of that stuff takes up, like I think like the LED lights and the discs and things like that, the flares, I think is good. The triangles, because they can collapse, I think those are helpful.
They're still a little annoying because they slide around a lot, and they're always in the. And I've never had to use them in that vehicle, but I could have used them today. So
yeah, but I think some of it, like, you're just never going to. You might have to adapt. Like, you might have to take your safety vest and like wrap it around your arm.
That's a good idea.
And then use that, or like, put on some gloves or something. Just anything to really make your hands stand out.
It was still daylight, but it was getting towards dusk, and then also it's starting to snow, so the visibility wasn't all that good. So then I'm like, oh man, if this was night, I could use these lights, but in the daytime, I kind of felt like I needed something a little bit more. So
yeah, no, I get that. I think that, I think some of that then gets into the like improvisation piece of prepping, of like, okay, you're not going to be able to have everything. So with what you do have,
you got to go MacGyver.
You got to MacGyver it a little bit. I think also, if there is some sort of an accident like that, I think that the other people around would start to recognize a person who's trying to direct traffic, and that there's some sort of a car or something.
Most people did, but there's some like some people are just, I don't know what it is, but lately in the last few years, they're just rude, and they're just like bothered that there's this huge accident, and they're just trying to get around it, speeding and everything like that. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, be nice.
They're on their way to go meet karma, I think is what they're on their way to be. But I also think, like, so when I took the CERT training stuff, and my wife took it, and we did all of that. They went through the whole, like, if you come upon an accident, like, what are you supposed to do and everything else. And one of the things that they reminded us was, like, you are not a trained professional first responder unless you are. If you're a trained, for like, different story. But like, if you are a civilian who is there, like, your job is to just do everything you can until professional people get there, and then you get out of the way. So like, if there are people that are having problems with the traffic situation, like, there's only so much that you can do, I think, at that point, short of waiting for the police to come, and then they might have a different opinion of what they would do with that person at that time. But I think those of us who are just going to help with the accident, the only thing you can do is help with as much as you have.
Yeah. And okay, so I'm going to think about it a little bit more, and I think someone said something about some gloves that you could get, which sounds kind of cool. So it was me and this other dude who happened to be one of the coaches at my daughter's jiu-jitsu school. So like, I see this big jiu-jitsu warrior guy coming, and he's like, hey, I know you. I'm like, oh crap, but he and I teamed up. We tag teamed, and and then when everyone came, when the specialist came, then we did our part. So
yeah, which is, I mean, I think that's the important thing, is that you probably had more supplies than anybody else did. You probably had more know-how than anybody else did. But at the end of the day, you can't. It's kind of like, I think, when there's an actual disaster, like, you can have all the supplies at your house that you need, but like, there will be people who will need more stuff, and you can't be responsible for having enough for everybody. And I think you can't have every piece of gear that would be perfect in a situation like that. You did the best you could. You missed last week where we had a big conversation about mental health, and perhaps I could introduce you to some people who I have been working with, because I want to help everybody with everything, and that's just not an attainable goal.
Well, during that situation, I mean, this just happened like maybe 2 hours ago, but there was a lady that came, and she was freaking out, like she was just someone that saw it, and like I did think that I was able to stay calm and help with both of the drivers during that one, and so it's a cool under pressure type thing. That the one lady wasn't that cool during it. So
did you just run out and say, "No, everyone, just relax. The Urban Prepper is here"? What? Yeah, exactly.
I got the Jiu-Jitsu master and Urban Prepper.
Hold on, I have to turn this around and live stream it on YouTube real fast.
Oh, geez, that would be
no, I don't. All my TikTokers, this is happening right now. If anyone has any suggestions, I'd love that. I think it was fantastic.
No, that was my charitable thing for the day. That was good. So,
well, that's
all sorts. And I also had another freaking lost dog again, and it's like I feel like I'm cursed with them because they're just out running around, and I think all of us have had a lot of us have had sad animal stories happen with lost dogs. And, and so I'm always saving them, even though I dread it because most of the time I get them. Most of the time they come to me because I have the magic touch. But and I got this one, but that just happened a few days ago too. Unfortunately, I was prepared and had my leash, and I had my irresistible dog treats, and then I also had the.
Does it smell like the ugly chicken on your fingers?
It smells like ugly
attracts it.
Yeah, I asked for the stinkiest dog treat that you could get because I'm going to save lost dogs. So.
It's just wafting through the neighborhood. It's attracting non-lost dogs. It's just every dog in the neighborhood. There's some raccoons.
I don't know what it is.
Showing up.
Sometimes there's some dogs that are too skittish when they're roaming like that they won't come for a treat either. But what I found is, again, I don't know why I'm talking about this, but it's been a while since we talked, so I'm relaying some stories.
Exactly. It's been a couple weeks. Late on.
This one I just opened up my car door and they just jump in, and then got the leash on them, got the treat. And so, I've been saving dogs all across the Washington state.
Saving dogs, or like those like cartoons where it's like Mr. Magoo when he had like the glasses and he couldn't see anything. It's like, are you saving lost dogs, or are you actually taking dogs that are just confused? Like, is that like you're just going up to parks and just opening your car door?
Yeah,
and whatever life happens to come in, then you're like, oh, look at me saving this dog.
Yeah, there was one dog that it got out, and then 5 days later it was out again, and I'm like, oh, I just saved you. I'm like, now I gotta. But
are they is it a neighborhood dog? Like,
it's like a neighborhood dog that got out of their gate, and then it's has no traffic sense, and I don't want my kids to see something like that. So, but I've been having good luck. So I think I'm probably about 80%. I'll get that dog. 20% they'll just run away. That's 80% of dogs saved.
Exactly. 80% of the time it works. 20% of the time.
80% of the time it works every time.
Yeah. Tup is the dog whisperer. Yeah. That is for sure. All right. Let me just look through. Pig Fly was saying use your traffic flashlights. Pony Girl was talking about light gloves.
Yeah, I need to check that out. Where's my phone?
I mean, for emergency situations, or perhaps a rave, if some of that pepper jelly and the gloves. I mean, there's an altered state, I'm sure, that could be achieved through that.
Light gloves. I'm looking it up right
now. Let's see.
Oh wow! Have you ever seen that? That's crazy.
Wow, we were.
It has it looks like your Iron Man or something. You have some lights coming out of there.
I have a feeling that these are going to be showing up on our house. Very, very.
This is cool. Who said this?
Pony Girl.
Jeez.
Pony Girl with a home run right there.
Yeah, look at that.
For all of your, nighttime traffic concerns, I think.
Wow. Oh, that's cool. For repairing, it has a photo of repairing your plumbing and using the light gloves so you can see what you're doing. That's awesome. Pony Girl, wow.
Yeah. One thing I'm realizing from this stream right now is I need to figure out in my new setup how to set things up so that I can do a screen share when we're on these, so that when we're doing that sort of stuff, we can actually pull it up and show it as opposed to, looking at Tup's phone. Because
that's awesome.
I mean, as much as we love Tup's phone, it's not really advantageous for.
Yeah, it's not the best for that. I love it. Pony Girl, I think it's going on my wish list. Thank you.
All right, Pony Girl with the win. Pony Girl with the win.
Nice win. Nice win.
Let's see. People are rescuing baby deer. Illinois, where I live, they had to tell people to stop rescuing baby deer. They were putting them in their cars. That seems like a problem.
Yeah.
Just waiting to happen. I don't know how a deer would handle being in a car. That seems like a hoof going through a window.
I don't know if I would do that. So.
All right. Glow LED gloves in different colors too.
Nice. So color.
Well, now color prepping.
Modules.
Yeah, exactly.
Modules. I'll have the yellow gloves for the comm stuff. I'll have the white gloves for medical. Yeah, I like it.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's key. I think that has to be included. Otherwise, it's just not worth it. Let me see what flag of Orion. What is that comment?
Like Orion, they make like marine type lights. Like you could get Orion flares.
Oh, a signal flag.
A signel flag. Yeah, I have a spare one sitting around here somewhere.
Is it next to your chainsaw and you're missing gold?
Well, let me see.
One day, someone's gonna go through your office room or whatever and find amazing treasures.
I still have the rake nearby just in case.
For a second, I thought that was some sort of a machete. I was like, what sword are you pulling out there, sir?
Yeah, no, that's you never know when you need this rake for a live stream, so.
Some people would keep it in their garden or their garage. Yeah, not Tup. No.
I keep it next to live stream.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, with my fire hydrant wrench and my chainsaws.
Yeah, I have the fire hydrant wrench just nearby too, you never know when you might need it. So.
I feel like, though, we know that there is no hydrant in your office. Unless there is. Is there a hydrant in your office?
No, there isn't. I don't know why it's in my office, but it's always nearby.
Like, there are certain things like, okay, you've got something extra for whatever. Okay, like I got random solar panels.
I should have it at my EDC for my next EDC. Just
EDC. Talk about a prepper bulge.
Yeah.
When you have that in your EDC, I feel like people would have questions. Like, it would be possible that you.
What I have here. Oh, a magnetic mount for a CB radio. Okay.
Oh, very nice.
You never know when you need that nearby too. So.
Yeah, I have one of those, but I keep it in my car with my CB.
It's still that one's. I don't know.
Which CB do you have?
Let's see what I bought this as a kid. Where's the CB? I'll send you the link.
All right.
I forget which one because I bought this maybe 2 years ago and it's still sitting there.
Okay. Yeah, I got the I think it's Uniden, and that's
probably the one I got.
So it can hook in to a main unit in your car, but then you can detach it and it has a battery pack, and then you can take it and it's a mobile version.
Oh.
Because I like Transformers.
I need to check yours out. Yeah. More than meets the eye.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was because I was thinking I was going to put my ham radio in my car, and then I didn't want to have another box with a CB in it. And this one, basically, like all of the guts of it are in the head unit. I like if you imagine that this remote control is like a radio or something, like this part is all of the important stuff and all the buttons, and then the bottom either connects into your cigarette lighter or it has a battery pack that you can slide onto it, and then it just becomes a handheld CB.
That's awesome. Another thing I have handy is my leather face mask
for that's Gray Man right there.
You never know.
Gray Man or Yellow Jacket right there. I think that's Yellow Jacket.
That's Gray Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should do the rest of the live stream in the leather face mask for people that are just tuning in.
There's some questions on if your wrench is actually a back scratcher for Bigfoot. I think that's
I have
100% a
I have
possibility.
a back scratcher over there too, so but it's a wooden
What
back.
don't you have in your office? I feel like is a
I
better
don't know.
question.
I have a lot of
I feel
prepper
like if
stuff
you
that's just nearby.
I feel like if you took down the screen behind you, like it would be again like in the cartoons or whatever, where you like they open the closet and everything falls out and there's just
Yeah.
all kinds of things. I feel like it would be similar. Like you would pull that down and there would be mannequin parts and there would be bubbles and
That's
all
funny.
kinds of things.
Yeah, it's just my desk. I have a different desk back there with the computer stuff, so I'm just hiding it. So
Yeah, well, I mean, of course, as you do.
yeah.
Or you know what? Someone who was hiding mannequin parts and bubbles would say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Gray Man for
I
a
don't
zombie
know why
attack.
we're doing show and tell, but
I don't know. Why do we do anything on this podcast? Who knows? Let's see. I saw that the casual preppers are doing they're going to do a SHTF movie bracket.
nice.
I feel like we should do more of those type of things.
Little games. Yeah, I think
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of a brilliant idea for SHTF movie.
They're
brackets.
very smart. That's why
pretty,
they're the number one prepper podcast.
They're pretty good guys.
And we're the number one non-prepper podcast. Yep. I think that's a key distinction.
Like he is joining the live stream. Yeah, unicorns.
Or just mount the mask behind you.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Like that's funny.
Yeah, exactly. Just put it behind you, like he's part of the group.
I'm just gonna have it pop up every once in a while, just to throw people off.
I feel like that's reasonable. I feel like everyone enjoy that. That is remarkably realistic and creepy. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to think of other things that pop up. One big thing that we need to talk about. Yes. This is important. This is key. I texted you about this yesterday and you didn't respond. So I'm taking your lack of response as an exception.
Yesterday was a stressful day, but for some other stuff.
That's fair. So next week, I think, will be our 1 year anniversary.
Oh my gosh.
It's the 1 year anniversary show.
It is?
Yeah. So that's what I texted you about. I was like, it was. So our actual
I have to unblock you. I have to unblock you from my
Wow. That's great. How do you know that you're on a weekly live stream for a year? Your co-host blocks you on text messages. That's fantastic. That's great.
Yeah, no.
That's awesome.
Well, cool. Well, we should do something, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I think what we'll do is I think we'll ping Sutton's Days, see if she wants to join us. Maybe
that's big time. That's big time.
We'll see if some of our other friends want to join us. And then I think maybe we'll do some giveaways. I got some little prize things that we could give away. I think could be fun. I'm not sure what we would do for those, like as giveaways, but we'd figure it out. But yeah, so we could do some of that sort of stuff.
We should game plan.
Huh?
We should definitely game plan it.
I mean, maybe a little bit more than what we normally do. Like, I don't think we should do tons.
We normally just turn on the cameras and say, "Hey, how's it going? Let's go live."
Welcome to the live stream. It's been a year, and this is where we've gotten. This is the progress we've made. We just jump online. But yeah, I think our actual first show was December 2nd, I think, 2021. Wow. And so that falls a little. So instead of doing it this week, which would be a little early, I figured it'd be better we do it next week. Also, we didn't plan anything because of the holiday, like Thanksgiving and everything else. So I was like, that's way too much pressure to put on this.
Sorry again about the Thanksgiving show.
That's okay. We had a wonderful, I will say, we had a wonderful chat.
Good chat. Okay,
we had a wonderful chat. I went solo. Nice. Everyone seemed to enjoy that. So, I think that's a fair option for us to do in the future. Nice. We talked about finances, which was great because you don't like to talk about it. So we did that. We talked about mental health. That was fantastic. I'm going to make some more videos about that at some point. But we had a good conversation about that. So yeah, so it was fun. So I think in the future, I have been hesitant about jumping on solo. But I think in the future, on the weeks when you're not available, I'll jump on solo. And the weeks that I'm not available, I give you the login, you jump on. Yeah, exactly. We'll just
I saw a real question here from some.
A real question?
Gents, would integrating UPS as part of your power backup with a generator be a good idea? Yeah.
Well, there you go. Answered.
Like
solved.
I like it. As part of your backup plan with a generator be a good idea.
So I guess the question with that would be, are you saying UPS as in you have a battery? So the generator would be linked to the battery, would be linked to your house. So if the house goes down, the UPS kicks on and then the generator kicks on and feeds the battery? Or are you thinking about it? And I ask this because
two standalone things. Yeah.
Well, so like I'm kind of going through that process with this whole office thing and everything. And like we have a whole house generator. But I wanted to get a UPS for my office. And then I wanted it to be able to run, if we had some sort of emergency in like an earthquake or something, to be able to have solar that would feed the UPS, because a lot of the big battery systems can take a lot of solar. So, okay, we'd have a bunch of solar that would go into it. And there was a lot of back and forth with the electricians about how you would actually link that up, because the generator is going to want to kick on at a certain point. You don't want to backfeed the system with the UPS and all of that sort of stuff. So it sounds like it is a doable thing. But I would definitely think about an electrician for that. Especially depending on what kind of generator you're getting. Like if you're getting just a gas generator that you're going to turn on, so there's a blackout, you're going to go outside and turn on the gas generator. Having a UPS attached to certain outlets or things. Also, getting a UPS that's going to feed your whole house is going to be remarkably expensive.
I'm curious on what UPS, because I've only really mainly used them for computers and stuff, but I've never been happy with any of them. So.
Yeah. I was looking at like either like the Renogy, the Lynx, I think, the Lion, that it's like they got a cat name or something. It's the big box that's like meant for outdoors and you can scale it with batteries. Okay. So I was looking at that. I was looking at the Zender Super Base Pro, which the specs on it look incredible. No one has one yet. I can't find anyone on anywhere that actually has one that's not a prototype that you can actually see if it works or not. But it's really cool because it'll do 120 and 240 or 220 out of the same system. You don't need a different plug or anything. It just automatically does it, which would be cool if you're using it for your whole house. It's also very expandable. So I was looking for expandable ones because I don't want to invest $20,000 or $30,000 in batteries right off the bat, which you would have like if you're doing like a power wall or something like that. But to get enough to power more than like a Goal Zero, but less than a whole house, and then you could always stack the extra batteries on it. So those are the ones. Anchor just came out with one that's like a 1700 or something like that. Blue Eddy has a couple. So something like that is I think really interesting. And you could just use that in specific zones. So attach it to, a power strip in your office and then put everything in that. And then that's just going to rely on whatever power is there and it's not going to interfere with the generator. But if you're trying to do like a whole house UPS, that's a very different proposition. So let's see. We used a UPS in the field with our generators, and when we were in the Army, generators go out, the UPS kicks on for an hour to keep the systems running. So yeah, again, I think it just depends on, are you looking at it as a whole house option from a generator perspective and from a UPS perspective, or are you looking at them as point solutions? So you're going to have a gas generator that you're going to have a power strip on, and it's going to power 6 or 8 things in your house. And so you want to have the UPS maybe on a couple of other things, or do you really want to power everything? And if you want to power everything, then I think you're going to want an electrician to make sure. I thought one of the kids was in the office. I was like, oh, is it snow time? Is it what's happening?
I'm just gonna always have Leatherface on hand for our
That is 100%. It's like a human puppet, is what it is. But yeah, so I think that So back to your question.
I agree with what you said. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'd say if you're doing whole house, call an electrician. If you're doing point, I think it's probably not a big deal. Let's see. Chuck said if you're budget limited, extension cords can always work. I think extension cords are great. You just got to think about the power distribution, where it's coming from, and everything else. Let's see. Anybody else? Couple last comments, questions. Chuck has a transfer switch on his furnace, so the generator or power bank can never feed back into the line system. Fantastic. I think you have a transfer switch on your furnace, so the generator, because usually the transfer switch is attached to the generator, not necessarily your furnace. So are you saying, I'm not sure that that we want to be diagnosing everyone's home electrical systems. I'm not an expert at that. I know that our generator has a transfer switch, but it's like an automatic thing, because it goes on and it does like a maintenance mode, but then also if there is a blackout, it will turn on and power everything in the house. But then when the power comes back on, it turns off, and we don't need to have like the electric company come out and reconnect our systems or anything like that. Chuck installed it separately. Okay. I think at this point, I mean, unless the friend that's with you in the room right now has anything else to add, I feel like we have exhausted all of our topics.
Yeah, I think we hit the sales, the Cyber Monday and all those kind of sales. We talked about we did some show and tell. We talked flashlight. We talked vehicle accidents. We talked rescuing dogs. We talked about generators.
We talked about how we feel about your PDFs, or more specifically, how your wife does.
Your PDF, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I feel like
I think we did it. We did it, and I don't think we did any. There was no poop jokes, so we did good.
You're so close, so close. I don't know if that really ruined it or if it saved it. I feel like maybe it saved it. All right,
I'll try to do a review of this at some point, and I'll try to work on finish the EDC update. So
I think that's fair. I think we just add that to the list of all the other videos that we all need to be working on. Thanks everybody for joining us. Really appreciate it. We've almost we're a couple days from a year. This is crazy that this was a random call that I made to Tup on a whim, being like, hey, what do you think, on vacation a year and a half ago? And here we are.
I did it.
So anyway, hopefully you all will join us. There will be more details coming. We will actually do a little bit of planning and forethought. But hopefully we'll have the anniversary celebration next week. So thanks for joining us. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like button if you haven't already. If you have ideas for the anniversary, leave them in the comments, because that would be fantastic. We have some ideas, but we would love more. So anyway, we will see you next week. Thanks a lot, everybody. Bye.
Yeah.